What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Front Yard Fantasy. I am your host today, Justin. Today, we are talking through sleeper breakout bust for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is an interesting one because we know pretty much who everybody is on this team, right? There's not a lot of under-the-radar guys. There's not a lot of roles open to be taken in this offense. We still got some names. We got a sleeper. We got a bust. The breakout is... it would be... they're all stars for the most part. It's very difficult to predict a breakout of superstars when they are superstars. So maybe we skip the breakout here. But before we get into all of it, guys, again, if you have questions about the Bengals, about redraft, dynasty, whatever it may be, drop it down in the comments below. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like on the video. Hit the bell for notifications. We're dropping upwards of 5 to 10 videos a week as we head into draft season to get you guys ready for the 2022 season. So with that being said, let's get into it. As always, we are starting with our sleeper pick here, and I wanted to pick Chris Evans. I wanted to pick Hayden Hurst, but honestly, it's very difficult to pick Joe Mixon's backup and the fourth option in the passing offense on a team that's probably not going to throw an excessive amount. So instead, we are going with Tyler Boyd. And let me be clear, right? Tyler Boyd is not going to be the wide receiver 1, the wide receiver 2 in this offense. He is not better than Jamarr Chase or T. Higgins or, those 2-star wide receivers. But what Tyler Boyd is extremely undervalued. He is being drafted as wide receiver 51 right now. I mean, that's something... Tyler Boyd beats that every single season without thinking about it, right? Last season, again, on 94 targets, was the wide receiver 38 in points per game. And again, he picked up a 19% target share, right? He's not going to probably be into the 20s, 22%. That's not his game anymore as long as Chase and Higgins are healthy. But what he does provide is a pretty safe floor. And should something happen to Chase or Higgins, he steps into an enormous role on a great offense, right? On an elite passing offense. So Tyler Boyd, he's one of those weird situations where he acts as a wide receiver handcuff, a weekly flex with upside, and you get him for the price of a wide receiver 5, right? He's a guy you throw at the end of your bench. You don't think about it until, bye weeks or injuries are here, and Tyler Boyd's in my flex, and he puts up 15 points, right? Like that's the type of guy Tyler Boyd has become in his career, working opposite the 2 stars. And the piece that's interesting here, and it's one of the biggest, call it correlation factors to wide receivers having a great season, is route participation. He's 9th in the NFL in route participation, which means if they are passing, if there are routes available to be run, Tyler Boyd is out there running. So again, while he did not command an enormous target share, the fact that he's on the field alone gives him a better chance than a lot of other wide receivers that are running fewer routes per game. So again, that is where he has some of that breakout potential in terms of, week to week, because he's just out there, right? He's a guy that can fall into the end zone once or twice. He could have a 10-target game because he's running routes. And that's the biggest thing. They run a ton of 3 wide receiver sets, and Tyler Boyd, dominates the slot touches there. Runs in the slot a little bit too much for my liking. However, that's a big part of why he's able to stay on the field almost, 100% of the time. And like I said, should someone else go down, his route participation is only going to increase. He could lead the NFL in routes run in terms of percentage of pass plays available to him. So again, Tyler Boyd is an interesting sleeper. At the very least, he's a great value at wide receiver 51. He's not going to win you your league, but he can fill in a pinch, and is one of those rare wide receiver handcuffs that, again, is coming virtually free at this point. So next would be the breakout, the breakout pick here. But again, Jamarr Chase has broken out. He is a superstar. T. Higgins has broken out. He is a superstar. Joe Mixon finally put things together. He is a star running back. It's really difficult to predict breakouts for guys that are getting drafted as the wide receiver 3, a top 15 wideout and a top 10 running back. I don't know what more we expect from them, but you really can't predict breakouts there. If you want to get spicy, T. Higgins is probably a better pick in the 3rd than Jamarr Chase in the 1st because their correlation is weird and they don't go off at the same times. And there's a real chance T. Higgins can outperform Jamarr Chase this season. Again, I have Jamarr Chase as a top 5 wideout and T. Higgins as a top 12 wide receiver. So I want Jamarr Chase in a vacuum. But at price, it's really T. Higgins is not a bad pick. I'm fine passing on Jamarr Chase if you're going to target T. Higgins in the 3rd round. The bust. Is it Jamarr Chase? Is it T. Higgins, Joe Mixon? It's Joe Burrow for me. And this is not because I think Joe Burrow's a bad quarterback or he's not going to put up fantasy production. He's going to. He is great. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL for a reason. However, at his cost, he's likely to bust, right? Again, could he beat his ADP of QB6? Absolutely. Is that a dangerous game to play when there are several other quarterbacks going after him that are cheaper and can put up better numbers really on any given week? Yeah, it's very dangerous. So Joe Burrow at QB6 is just not something I'm interested in. A team that runs the 31st slowest offense in the NFL with an improved defense, an improved offensive line, which should lead to less negative game script, which means fewer passing opportunities for Burrow potentially, right? A team that can really kind of smother opposing offenses and really run down other teams' throats and keep the ball out of their hands and really churn clock and, again, play from ahead, which is not something we saw the Bengals do a ton of, the last couple of seasons with Burrow. So that is a huge concern because if there's a drop-off in passing on a team that's already not a pass-heavy team, not a fast-paced team, you can see production for fantasy drop pretty damn quickly for Burrow. And really, again, though, it's about the guys going after him, right? Who is being drafted later than Joe Burrow right now? All these guys are going 1 to 3 rounds later, which means instead of Burrow, you can take a Sutton, Hollywood, if he's playing, Dalton Schultz, right? Different types of position players that probably have more value. And then later, you can scoop up Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, all guys with a pretty damn good chance to beat Joe Burrow, or even if they don't beat him, be within, a half point to 1 point per week. I think that's worth a 1 to 3 round discount depending on the quarterback there. So again, it's not that Joe Burrow is going to bust and just completely flame out. It's that the price is a lot of risk, right? Again, it's early for a quarterback that doesn't run a ton. You'll probably get extra rushing this season, another year removed from the ACL. But still, that could come with a drop in efficiency or just drop in overall volume. It's dangerous, and it's not a game I'm looking to play, in the middle of the 5th round there. I think that's just a little bit too early for a quarterback that doesn't give you that ultra-high rushing floor that we're typically looking for, in early round quarterbacks. All right, guys, that is all we have. Again, questions, comments, you want to get mad about Joe Burrow, drop it down in the comments. Love to go back and forth with you. We'll get back to you as soon as we can on all that. Again, if you like what we're doing, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.